Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, it's time for a resilient tourism sector, says Head of State. Special Cabinet Caucus examines petroleum industry's management, and Kuru marks the spot for derelict vehicles. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
We begin with the news that the 24th Congress of the Organization of American States began today. Kadaki Amsterdam was there and filed this report.
Today, March 21, marks the opening of the 24th Congress of the Organization of American States. This Congress represents the first ever OAS Congress to be held in Guyana. In brief remarks, President David Granger urged the gathering of ministers and high officials of tourism to seek solutions to ensure increased annual tourist arrivals to the Americas.
This Congress can do so by protecting the Americas' natural capital, by developing a concerted approach to the environment, by promoting increased connectivity between tourist destinations, by encouraging the development of infrastructure, and providing smaller states, particularly the small island states of the Caribbean, with easier access to capital for investment to build a more resilient industry.
The head of state further encouraged the protection of the region's tourism assets from the threats of transnational crime, such as trafficking in persons, illicit drugs, and cybercrime. This, he said, will ensure safer destinations for visitors and citizens alike.
The Americas are endowed with unspoiled islands, grasslands, wetlands, waterfalls, lakes, rivers, and rainforests. These are all the habitat of unmatched flora and wildlife. The Americas must protect and preserve these priceless assets for the benefit of present and future generations.
Kidaki Amsterdam for InfoHub.
Joseph Harmon, Minister of State, is currently attending the Conference of Defense Ministers of the Americas Ad Hoc Working Group on the evolving role of the armed forces in Washington, D.C. It is hosted by the U.S. Department of Defense's Perry Center. The Ad Hoc Working Group of the Armed Forces is aimed at facilitating an exchange of best practices along thematic lines that loosely align with the new domains of the armed forces. Current transnational and multidimensional threats call for armed forces to develop new and creative approaches to strengthen hemispheric security and defense cooperation. The Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force is accompanying Minister of State. Tourism as a viable means of alleviating poverty is one of the topics addressed by Minister of Tourism Dominic Gaskin at the 24th Congress of the Organization of American States. In addition, Minister Gaskin pledged Guyana's commitment to ensuring the development of the region's tourism industry. He says there is much to be gained.
And we see sustainable tourism as the only option for securing long-term benefits from this particular economic activity. So for us, this conference is an important platform for our own development agenda, but more importantly, we understand that the future of tourism in Guyana is integrally connected to the future of tourism in the Americas, and we are keen to play a part in developing the bigger picture.
Meanwhile, Executive Secretary of the Secretariat for Integral Development, Kim Osborne, said the Congress presented an opportunity for cooperation and collaboration for the region's tourism products enhancement.
I believe that these efforts can build on the legacy of 2017 as the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development and propel an enhanced role for tourism within our country. The declaration of Georgetown that you will consider during this conference will be the document to outline this path. The OAS will be your partner, and we will continue to support the efforts of member states to realize these mandates.
This is the first ever OAS Congress to be held in Guyana. The Congress brings together ministers and high officials of tourism as the organization seeks to enhance the region's multi-destination potential. President David Granger says capacity building and prudent management of oil resources is important to the development of the oil and gas industry. Tiffany Rodius has the details.
The head of state says the country has to walk on two legs, preserving Guyana's green state and ensuring oil production benefits current and future generations. This, he notes, requires all Guyanese.
We need to mobilize not only national will, but national resources. This is going to be the single largest industry in Guyana. A country of over just about 750,000 people. We need to ensure that our resources are mobilized so that every Guyanese understands the importance of petroleum. And although many of us might have grown up in a colony where the commanding heights of the economy were owned by foreigners, we have to understand that this industry, from the start, is Guyanese.
President Granger stressed investment in education, development of administration, and legislation to protect citizens from the adverse aspects of the exploitation of the oil resources is critical.
I view that we need to start with education. Many people are dazzled by the prospect of petroleum wealth. We need to educate ourselves as a cabinet, as a government, and the population as a whole, to take a sober approach to the exploitation of this valuable resource. We need to create the organization, the structure that will manage this resource.
President Granger was speaking at the opening of a special cabinet caucus facilitated by Chatham House. The Special Cabinet Caucus was organized by Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman, who says the session seeks to develop a roadmap for the government in preparation for oil production in 2020.
We need a synthesis of ideas that form themselves into a practical and attainable plan of action. We need as well the ability to speak a new language, a lingua franca, so to speak, and all together at the same time, and to be able to communicate that effectively.
Cabinet was briefed by global thinkers and experts on natural resource management. The feature presentation on managing the impact of natural resources was done by renowned Professor of Economics and Public Policy, Paul Collier. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Chief Fire Officer Marilyn Gentle wants road users to understand the importance of adhering to sirens of emergency vehicles. Here is Paul McAdam.
According to the fire chief, the failure of road users to yield to sirens is one of the major challenges they face, along with the emergency medical services when responding to an emergency.
As responsible road users, persons ought to give way to the vehicle sounding siren when maybe someone who's been taken to an hospital, who needs immediate medical attention that the EMS cannot provide to them, but just to transport them in a timely manner. And any delay, of course, puts that person's life more on the line.
Similar sentiments were also echoed by Medical Director of the EMS, Dr. Sofia. It is critical, he explained, that persons yield when they hear the sirens, as someone's life may be on the line.
Please, when you hear sirens, just respect the sirens and pull over, because we've had accidents where members of the public, instead of pulling over, actually were impeding the ambulances. And there are patients in there, not just regular EMTs and civilians. So we're asking members of the public to cooperate with that.
The Chief Fire Officer also pointed out to the fact that there are laws to deal with such incidents. He added that several persons have been already placed before the courts for their actions or lack thereof. Members of the public are being urged to respect the law and the fact that medical officers and the fire service ranks are trying to save someone's life or property. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Zanil Williams now tells us that the school welfare and guidance and counseling officers participated in a workshop that will see renewal of the service in hinterland dormitories.
Initially, the program's first phase was piloted at St. Ignatius in Region 9, Bartica in Region 7, and Charity in Region 2 for a period of 2 years. Through the program, welfare officers and guidance counselors were dispatched across secondary schools' dormitories across the nation. Chief Welfare Officer Jillian Vifas says,
1. Officers committing to participate. Reluctance from the redos from some regions to release officers because of shortage of staff. Timely response from officers identified to participate. As a result, delay in start in some cases. Officers committed to participate withdrew at the appointed time. Lack of essential resources from the regional authorities to aid in transportation and accommodation in some cases.
The administration is of the view that the program will assist children being afforded all opportunities in order to be well-rounded, including being mentally capable of handling issues on their own. Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson explains.
We want all our children to perform, all our children to do well, and therefore those children that operate in the dormitory schools, of course there are issues there that if we do not deal with those issues intelligently, we could very well find ourselves in a situation where our children fail to perform, and that is not what we want as a people in this country.
The workshop will allow the officers to make recommendations that will improve the program. The program is a collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. Zanil Williams for Info Hub.
Another group of Sofia Training Center students graduated today after successfully completing the 31st Youth Entrepreneurial Skills Training Program.
Department of Social Cohesion Program Coordinator Sharon Patterson told graduates that their course's completion is simply a stepping stone.
I am very certain that many of you here today would be repeating this particular journey at some other stage of your life. In other words, I believe that you would seek to move to higher levels in your respective fields of study.
Valedictorian Lafia Yearwood advised her fellow classmates to apply the knowledge and skills learned in the world of business. She also encouraged them to continue striving for excellence. During the YEST course, 6 students also completed the Citizen Security Strengthening Program.
This course is a very interesting course. You learn many different things. They even give you stipends where you don't have money to go to school. They provide that for you.
I've always wanted to become a technician, and after writing CXC, I was at home all the time, nothing to do, and a group of people came up to me. My action officer, she asked me if I want to take part in a course, and I said yes. And that's how I'm here today at Sofia Training Center.
YEST is a program that is offered to persons between the ages of 16 and 25 that offers training for cosmetology, information technology, masonry, carpentry, welding, and mechanics, among others. For InfoHub, Natishia Isaacs.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure is constructing an appropriate area for proper disposal of derelict vehicles stacked along roadways. We now bring you our final report from Renetta Lefleur.
The ministry, through its National Task Force Secretariat, has started the construction of a dump site in Kurukuru along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway to store derelict vehicles. Secretariat head Sionat Punalal said the move is aimed at freeing the environment of derelict vehicles and have them disposed in a profitable or economical way.
We have very frequently vehicles and machinery dumped by the roadsides and in other places. And the landfill sites, which are few in Guyana, they are not geared to take off this kind of waste. So in 2017, we worked on this project, and it's still ongoing at the moment. It is about to be completed.
To date, some drainage works and paving of the access road leading to the site have been completed. Punalal said other works are wrapping up.
The fencing will have to be completed. We have to put on the lights, the security lights. There's a guard hut there to be built. And after that, it should be up and running. The argument put out by some people is, well, I have this old car here. You asked me to move it, but where do I move it to? So we have a catering for that now.
The project, which commenced last year, should conclude within another 2 months. The $300 million venture is the first of several other sites to be constructed across the country. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates on development across Guyana and further afield. Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.